Hello, good evening. My project is titled Cover Lagos. My name is Tejuosho. Here is my walkthrough for submission 2. So Cover Lagos is an interactive visualization map of open manholes in Lagos State, Nigeria. For submission 1, I focused on two things: the reporting app for citizens as well as the kiosk for the data visualization. Following the feedback on submission 1, have streamlined my project to focus only on the kiosk, which would be placed in a public space where there's footfall or where there's traffic from people who can interact as well as see the data visualization that has been made to be interactive as well as adaptable for a public space. So for submission 1, here is the app I worked on. I would move away quickly from that since that has now been descoped, and I'll move on to submission 2, which focuses on the mapping for the submitted data on open manholes. So I started by getting a map of Lagos State. The map of Lagos State initially looked like this, and what I've done is to strip it of some of the text to leave the background so that can be embedded in all of the designs that I worked on, as you would see when I go back to that page. Started by considering whether I should still use the square boxes that I used in submission 1, but I found that with the square boxes I would not the design would not really show the background. And I also noticed that several other sites where they showed geographical visualization, or where geographical data is being mapped, they tended to use the circular shapes, okay, as the markers as well as for the data, because that allowed other information to show on the background, and it also had very good visual appeal. So I chose that. I maintained my color scheme from the first iteration, where the volume of the manholes reported in a particular space is what determines the color scheme that would be determines the color that would be used for that space. I have my speculative data here for the local government areas in Lagos State, and I allocated them based on the road density in that area. There's information about that on the Lagos State website on the areas that have the most roads. So my speculative data is based on the assumption that where there are more roads, there would most likely be more potholes for people to, more open manholes rather, for people to report on. So here is my submission 2. I created several screens to show to tell a story. So from the blank canvas, to when it's populated, and I use the smart animate feature in Figma, to reflect the information or to showcase the information. I also considered the fact that since this would be in a public space, it's very important that the information being communicated is shown quickly, and they're very minimal touch points at all. If the user wants to engage with it, they can quickly see the signifiers and the cues, and then they can interact with the digital map. So here is what the digital map looks like now. I think I'll just zoom this in to showcase it. Here are the various local government areas, and there are two versions, or should I say there are two modes. You have the view by the local government areas, and you have the opportunity to explore, which takes you to the view by division. Okay, so here is the view by the divisions in Lagos State, which is made up of 5 divisions. The divisions are still related to both the community development areas as well as the local government areas, but the divisions just allows you to see more details, of the reported manholes in the local community development areas. So here is the data by divisions, and up here is data by the local government areas. So for the mock-up, I've used something that looks like something that is a simple digital kiosk standing one that can be placed in public, so that the touch elements are within the touch range of a user who is interacting with it. So here it is for the mock-ups. Thank you.